Yeah, Anne Hathaway is giving me full camp in The Witches, and I'm totally here for it. Hey everyone, it's Sharonda from Pay Your Weights, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Witches, which is now streaming on HBO Max. This film is directed by Robert Zemeckis, and it stars Octavia Spencer, Jazir Bruno, and Anne Hathaway, as this film is based on the 1983 classic novel written by Roald Dahl, The Witches, which tells the scary, funny, and imaginative tale of a 7-year-old boy who literally runs into real-life witches. So for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome, hello, so glad you came. I hope you stay. I tell you what I enjoyed about this film, what I didn't like about this film. It isn't worth your time watching it, not on HBO Max. So going into one of the first things that I am very happy to say that I liked about The Witches is that this is actually really close to the source material. For those of you who have actually read The Witches novel, you will be pleasantly surprised as this actually sticks to the majority of the story that we are introduced to in the 1983 book by Roald Dahl. I really appreciated that. Even though the 1990 version, it kind of took its own little twist of it, I do like that this sticks closer to that source material. Now, one of the first things that I want to do is give props to Jazir Bruno, who plays the boy, because we really don't have a name, and also to Octavia Spencer. I love their relationship as this grandmother and son. I think that Jazir did a really great job with his character with this film. But most importantly, one of the things that I appreciate about this depiction of the witches is that they actually allow Jazir's character, the boy, to actually experience his grief. And as someone who lost I didn't lose my parents, I lost my father at a very young age. I think it's really important now that we're starting to see in these kid films that we're actually seeing kids allowed to express their emotions of grief, to actually be present in that emotion that they're feeling. And I think that it did a really great job of depicting that within this film. Now also to Octavia Spencer, who plays the grandma. I thought that she was great as well. Octavia is always great at playing this character that just makes you feel like you're at home. No matter wherever she is, you're at home because she makes you feel safe. And you truly felt the relationship and the bond between the grandmother and the boy, thanks to Octavia Spencer. And I really enjoyed her in this film as well. But one of the things that I really want to give kudos to is really the writing of this film. Robert Zemeckis and Kenya Barris, they both co-wrote the screenplay. But I think it's very important that when we're taking a classic story like this, and especially with a movie, the 1990 version movie that everyone grew up on, when you change the race of a character, right? I think it's really important that the writing has to reflect this change. There's certain things, especially while I was reading The Witches, I reread it before the film came out. I was just like, if this is a black person, they would not be doing this right now. There's actually something that happens that the grandmother says, and she was like, don't test me. And I was like, exactly, because that's exactly what my grandmother would tell me. But I really enjoyed that the writing actually reflects the cast. I like some of those changes they make to the initial story to truly fit with the main characters being black. And I think that it works very well. I don't think that it's overdone. I think that it flows very smoothly, but you notice the subtle little changes to the story, especially for those who have read the novel, that you will actually enjoy. And I really did want to give kudos for the writing, because it's not every day that you see something like that. And it really comes off like, okay, you changed the race of this character, but you didn't change the writing to support that character to really have this make sense. So I wanted to give kudos for that. But can we talk about the Grand High Witch? Can we talk about Anne Hathaway's performance in this film? Now, she has some very big shoes to fill, because for those that grew up on the 1990 version with Angelica Houston, like, I was just like, she did that. But I was very pleasantly surprised to see that Anne Hathaway really tries to make this character her own. The character is very camp, very over the top, and I really enjoyed it. I don't think that she pushed the boundaries too far. I think it was done just right. And you can truly tell that she's having fun with this role, and was just like, you know what, I'm just going to give this my all. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to have fun while I'm playing this Grand High Witch. And I'm very pleasantly happy to say that it actually does pay off for this film. Now, also, too, I do like that they try to flesh out the third act of the film. For those of you who have actually, I keep saying for those of you who have read the novel, but in the story, it kind of ends a little bit abruptly, but they actually do flesh out the third act in this film, which I did appreciate as well. And I think overall, visually, I think that everything looked fantastic. The hotel that they're in looks great. The costumes that they have on, there's an elegance that you see in this hotel that they're staying at, but also too with the costumes for the witches as well. With the effects that they have, it looks really great in this updated version as we see children turning into mice. We see witches becoming in their true form. I thought that the film looked very well. Now, even though I have so many things that I did enjoy about the witches, there are a couple of issues that I had with the film. I think first and foremost, the horror element of it. I don't know if because Guillermo del Toro was attached to this that I really thought that they were going to go full horror for this film. And there's something that is supposed to happen with the witches that I was waiting for, because with this updated version, with these updated effects, I was just like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to see what this looks like. And then I get to the end of the movie, I was like, wait a minute, like, that we're just not gonna do it. We're not gonna have it. And I think that, I don't know if they were trying to pull back a little bit, just because this is a movie that is intended for young kids as well. And I mean, I was scared by the 1990 version. I don't know why my parents were allowing me to watch this. I just felt as though it was a missed opportunity to really kind of push the boundaries a little bit and really go for that horror element. Now, there's still things that are scary. I know everyone has seen the elongated lips and smile and teeth that the witches have. I think that there were some cool things that they did with Anne Hathaway's character with the effects as well. But yeah, I just felt like, but towards the end of the film, I was like, man, they really could have took it there, and they didn't. They really tried to play it safe. And then also too, Stanley Tucci, who I love and adore, is the hotel manager. And even though the character doesn't have that much to do in the novel, even with the 1990s version, you saw them, his character have a little bit more to do than normal. But with Stanley Tucci, I feel like it was a missed opportunity. And like, you have Stanley Tucci in this film, do something with him. And I felt like some of the characters were kind of underutilized in the film overall. But outside of those two issues that I had with it, I thought that The Witches was a good time. I think that it will be a great movie for kids and adults to watch. It still will be scary for kids because there are some moments I was just like, oh my goodness, this is a bit much. But I think for those of you who fell in love with the 1983 novel and who just love the story overall, I think that there's a lot to enjoy with it. And it's a great film to watch during the Halloween month with your kids, and even for yourselves as adults who are just nostalgic about growing up with the witches. But I will tell you guys that it's definitely worth the watch. But those are my thoughts on The Witches, which is now streaming on HBO Max. As always, my name is Sharana from Para Waits, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. And until I see you again, bye.